What's the difference between a critique partner and a beta reader? My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. This question was phrased differently, but the question, the way that it is phrased, is actually a little bit confusing. And so I'm just going to define some terms generally and then also let you know that there's not actually any rules about this. Like, you can call these people kind of whatever you want. So critique partners are usually the people who are going to give you feedback all along the way. So you will come to them and like brainstorm ideas, and you will give them rough drafts, and you will give them early drafts of chapters and things that are skeleton outlines, and they are going to be with you throughout the entire process. You might have some critique partners that you rely on at the brainstorming stage, some that you rely on at the developmental and story stage, and some that you rely on for the polishing stage. Critique partners are the people that you come to, and they're going to read your book multiple times. You're going to read their stuff, you swap stuff back and forth. They are often going to be in a writing group. If it's formalized, it might be an informal group in which you just like have a collection of people that you go to. Like, critique partners usually are being referred to, like, is referring to the people that are with you through the whole writing process. Beta readers are usually referring to the people that read the book when it's like almost done. So you might not be totally and completely ready for formatting yet, but you're like at the line editing stage. And so you are now like, the book is definitely book shaped. The arcs are in the shape that they are going to be. You have the world building under control. And now you are getting people to be like, do the metaphors land? Did the story, like, do we get a green light, or do we need to go back and fix some other stuff still? And these are usually going to be people that are good readers and can give helpful and thoughtful feedback, but they aren't necessarily writers. They don't understand your process, but they read a lot of books, so they understand genre expectations, they understand like the category that you are writing in, and so they're able to give you feedback from a more elevated space than just the average reader. With that term beta reader in mind, sometimes authors will refer to alpha readers. So this will be a team of people that are also still readers, not writers, not critique partners, but they will give feedback earlier in the process. That term is less commonly used, but it is out there. A question that often comes up whenever I talk about these things is like, okay, well, when do I get feedback? And the answer is when you need it. And that's different for everybody. You might need a lot of feedback early on to help get the book into book shape, but then once it's in good shape, you're pretty good and you're ready to like rock and roll on your own. Or it might be vice versa, that you're really good at like the structural developmental stuff on your own, but then like when it comes to the nitty gritty and metaphors and like making sure that character nuance is on the page, that's where you really need a lot more support. So you get feedback when you need it. Get feedback often. I do recommend not getting feedback from a bunch of people at once unless you already have a really good system for how to deal with that. Because what happens if they give you conflicting pieces of feedback? There's definitely ways that you can deal with this, but this is going to be easier if you are a little bit further down the path and you understand your process a little bit better. So I don't recommend like sending the book out to like 6 people at once and then being like, oh, they all told me to do something different. I guess I'm going to do all 6 changes. That's usually not going to work out super great for newer writers. And in all of this, reviewers are for books that are finished. Now, you might send them an ARC, an advanced reader copy, so an ARC. You might send them that, in which there are still some typos, and good reviewers will know to look past those typos at that stage because it's an uncorrected proof, but you're not making substantive changes. When a reviewer says, like, I didn't like this character, you're not going back and changing that character. That way madness lies. Like, reviews are not really for authors. They're not really for feedback. They are for other readers to get a sense of whether or not they want to buy this book, whether or not they want to spend their time and their money on this book. Reviews are for readers, not for the writers.